Hi Spidey-Fans, it's your friendly neighbourhood, the ultimate Spider-Man fan here. And welcome back to another video of me reading my epic Marvel Spider-Man PS4 related book, Hostile Takeover. I'll just do my normal intro here. It's actually been a few hours since I actually done my last reading video, because I'm using my PS4, so well, I can use my PS4 a lot for videos, so that's why I'm doing all these. You'll probably, like I said, you'll be seeing all these, I don't know when, but yeah, I'll just so we're back in we're just finishing off chapter I think it was, sorry, I'm chapter 23. But yeah, I'll just do my intro quickly. Yeah, excuse me. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell notification, favorites, and follow me on Twitter as well. Type in the @ all capitals without spaces, the ultimate Spidey, SPID. And yeah, let's get right into this. So a swing and a miss, but not entirely a waste of effort. She now knew Fisk was bringing in military types for something he didn't want to discuss. It might be nothing more than vandalism at a construction site, but somehow she dared it. An hour later, after a tedious and unenlightening meeting with the accounting officer, MJ was on her way out and stopped to say goodbye to the security guards. She was always friendly with the guards on her way out. On her way in and out. She was outgoing by nature, which was one of the reasons she wanted to make her living here. Which was one of the reasons she wanted to make her living hearing strangers tell their stories. On the other hand, she knew most people hurried past the security desk, treating the workers there as impediments rather than people. A smile and a few kind words garnered no guarantee of anything in return, but it didn't hurt. See you next time, she said, peering at his name tag, Hank. She flashed him a smile. The other one, Ferris, was dealing with a visitor. You have a good day, Miss Watson. She started 3, then stopped. What the hell? Sorry for repeating myself there, Spidey-Fans. What the hell? It was worth a try. You know, about an hour ago, I almost got run over by these 3 anonymous guys. They looked like an ex-Marines or something. He laughed. Yeah, those gorillas from Rocks and Blackbridge. They don't look like they play around. They're late today though. Most days I come in by 7:30 and they're out the door again after 15 minutes. Well, try not to make them angry, she laughed and waved as she walked out. So she'd been right. Rocks and Blackbridge was a security contractor. She'd have to do a little research, but she was pretty sure they were involved in more demanding work than chasing off teenagers carrying cans of spray paint. MJ smiled as she walked out of the building. Maybe this would go nowhere, but maybe it was a lead. Either way, finding out was going to be fun. Maya watched the reporter leave the building, stopping to chat with the security guard on her way out. She'd passed that guard hundreds of times and never spoken a word that wasn't required by the business at hand. It must be nice, she thought, to be so relaxed around other people. Maya didn't want to be unfriendly, but she didn't really know how to be anything else. She didn't blame her father. Sorry, Spidey-Fan, sorry. It hadn't been easy for him to be a single parent in New York City. Maya didn't remember anything of her mother, who died when she was very little, but she could recall a few snippets from when they still lived on the reservation in Montana. Oh, all the enforcers' names. There were other children there with whom she played, and a pair of kindly women who took care of her. Maya turned the page. Maya had thought of them as old, but they probably hadn't been more than 40 at the time. One had taught Maya sign language, but then Maya had taught herself to read lips. Even as a little girl, she would not limit herself. She always wanted options, and she never wanted to be in a position of not knowing what people were saying. Wherever she was, there's nothing you can't do. This woman had told her, her eyes sparkling with wonder. I've never seen anyone learn like you do. It's like you can echo anything. It always struck with her that she could echo, that she was an echo. There was another powerful memory from those days, a fight involving a man, someone who came to their house. He'd been drunk, looking to hurt them. The two had fought, and Maya had hidden under her bed, not knowing what was happening, hoping that her father would come and tell her it was over. Her father didn't come. The man then, he was hurt, bleeding from his head and pressing a towel against the wound on his side. He managed to pull her out from under the bed. She wiggled free from his hard grasp, but he grabbed her again. His bloody hand grabbed her by the face, and she screamed. Then the man fell over, and her father stood across the room, wounded and unsteady, bleeding from his own wound in the shoulder, and holding a smoking gun. She looked in the mirror next to her father and seen that the bad man had left a bloody handprint on her face. For years after, she dreamed about herself that way, as though it was a part of her face, like she wasn't herself without that handprint. They left that night. People wouldn't understand. Her father had said the man who had tried to kill them was an important white man from town, friends with policemen and politicians. They would never believe him when he said he'd been attacked. Years later, she wondered, but at the time it hadn't occurred to her to question his word. It never occurred to her to explain when he put her in schools where the other kids made fun of her and excluded her, because when she came home he was waiting, and he made her feel like there was a place in the world where she belonged. There were times when he was gone for hours or days at a time, though, and their neighbours watched out for her, but there was just a part of life, and it didn't demolish the love she felt for her father. After Spider-Man left her an orphan, Maya's incomplete records, her poor grades, her spotty attendance record all confused the city social workers. They treated her as a problem, as a criminal. She could remember that day clearly if she wanted to, but she chose to forget. It was easier to forget. She didn't want to think what would have become of her if Mr. Fisk hadn't taken an interest in the orphan daughter of a minor business associate. It wasn't that Maya couldn't be social when the situation called for it. After all, mimicry was her greatest skill. She knew who was successful and who wasn't, and she could make herself emulate their body language. That was easy, knowing what to say to a near stranger, how to make small talk that didn't feel strained or awkward. That was something else entirely. It certainly didn't matter for her next appointment, since it was with a man who neither valued nor practiced friendliness. So I'm young, Spidey-Fans. It's actually at night time I'm recording this. It certainly, what was that? Jameson wanted to meet by the hot dog vendor again, and when she arrived, he was already finishing what she presumed was at least his second dog. She checked her watch to make sure she wasn't late. I got here early. He said, I wanted to talk and not let you watch my lunch get cold. I hope nothing's wrong. She said, I've heard some of your broadcasts and I'm told the ratings are strong. The numbers look great. He told her, People want to hear what I have to say, but they're sick of what mainstream media types like Robertson are feeding them. The incident in Times Square seems to have come at a perfect time for you. His eyes narrowed, maybe a little too perfect. Maya almost laughed at that. Did he think she would actually coordinate an attack like that simply to boost his ratings? The attack had been coordinated, though Mr. Fisk had brought Bingham in and people died. She knew that Mr. Fisk hadn't intended it, and that sometimes in any great operation with many wheels turning, accidents happened. I'm not, like I said, Spidey-Fans, I'm not finding the book boring. I mean, like I said, I'm physically in love with this book. It's just pretty late. I know probably does seem like I'm getting bored, but I'm not. I'm like, I even read it off camera, even though I put bookmarks on it. Accidents happen. She wouldn't condemn him if an accident at a construction site left people dead. A voice told her that. A voice told her that this was different, but she didn't want to think about it. Not yet, not until she knew more. Let's not jump to any crazy theories, Mr. Jameson. One of my crazy theories was that there was unsavory money supporting my show. You told me I was wrong, but I'm a journalist, young lady. You think all those years behind death made me forget how to do a little digging? He looked straight at her. He looked straight at her. The money is coming from Fisk. I told you, she said, that there were business interests in the city that wanted to hear your voice. Mr. Fisk was one of those interests. You knew perfectly well I wouldn't have accepted money from the kingpin of crime. Do not call him that, she said. Those charges were disproved. No, they weren't. They weren't proved, he said, which isn't the same thing. Still, he's had his day in court, which is more than we can say for Spiderman. No one is doing more help. No one is doing more to help the city than Mr. Fisk, she said firmly. He knows the false charges brought against him have based a number of people, and that's why he wanted to keep his name out of it. But think, Mr. Jameson, you were one of the voices leading the charge against Mr. Fisk before the trial exonerated him. Why would he want you on the air if he had something to hide? The truth was she knew he wouldn't have wanted. Turn the page. How many more pages do I have? One. Okay, good, cool. Jameson on the air at all. Fisk's empire was large enough that it might be some time before he realised he had Jameson on the payroll. By then, Maya hoped that the show would be profitable enough for Fisk to overlook her part in the project, all without his permission. For Maya, though, it was something more. This was a way to do something to push Spider-Man that much closer to exposure. She was playing a part in his eventual downfall, and she wasn't about to stop. I don't like it, Jameson said. I understand, Maya said casually. What she understood, though, was that having his voice heard all over the city was intoxicating to the man. Being able to voice whatever condemnation came to mind with no filter was something Jameson desired very much. She very much doubted he was going to walk away. He peered at her, uncertain of what to make of her tense reply. He was just causing people to roll over or flee. She presumed, unused to indifference. Yeah, I thought I said that wrong. If I get wind of a story that makes Fisk look bad, I'm not going to ignore it. He said, I'll say what needs to be said. Honestly, I don't know why I even bother with this radio station. I could have one of those pod blasts and not be answerable to anyone. Think of the show as an opportunity to build an audience, may I say, for your future podcast. Think you're pretty clever, correcting me, don't you? Maya pressed her lips together in an all business sort of smile. Mr. Jameson, we only want your candor. no one is actually asking you to pull your punches. That's why you're vital to the city. Have you reviewed and signed the revised contracts? But this had been a speed bump. The first contracts had a critical typo. Yes, someone's head had rolled and they had to be redrafted and signed again. Had Jameson really wanted to, it would have been easy for him to serve her ties. Still, she wagged. He was unwilling to walk away from a growing audience. He reached into his coat, pulled out a bulky envelope and handed it to her. She took it, careful to avoid a large mustard stain, signed and notarized. I think that says. He said, but that contract allows me to say what I want and walk away if you pressure me to do otherwise. We want an honest voice, he said, nothing more. Then that's what you'll get, he said, whether you like it or not. Benham was too far away to hear what they were saying. He wished he had the deaf girl's ability to read lips. That would be handy, or mind reading. He'd like that too, but that wasn't a spider power, and he could only do spider things like sneak around without people noticing. That got him close enough to pick up close enough to pick up a word or two, and he definitely heard them say something about contracts. Maybe this time he'd get lucky. After she left the old guy with the thing for hot dogs, she headed east and Benham kept after her at a safe distance. He watched as she went into one of the Fisk offices on the east side. She came out 20 minutes later, no longer carrying the envelope. Contracts. Chances were a copy would go right into the safe. Good thing he managed to put a tracker on the envelope before the deaf girl arrived. The old grump had given him an earful for bumping into him, but Benham had kept on walking. Just another day in the city, right? He smiled to himself. He was one step closer to his goal, and that brings us to chapter 24, Spidey fans. So I'll record all these, and then by the time I'm back on YouTube, I'll have loads to go up, hopefully. And I just want to say I'm there to finish the book, because I don't know if you remember, but I did say this book is 37 or 36 chapters. So give me 1 wee second. Just want to make sure. 37. Right, 30. Wait, hang on. What is that? Okay, 37 chapters plus an epilogue. Basically, the end of the book, like I said, is the start of the PS4 game. So, yeah, basically 37 and then a wee ending. Basically 37 and then it's the start of the game. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, sorry for mucking up any words there. But yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see all you Spy fans in all of my next epic Spidey videos. It's your friendly neighbourhood Spider Cop, over and out. Thwip, 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 thwip.